Hot Rod Madness, where every car has a story. If you love rat rods, street rods, American classic muscle, even the unusual, including those ground-pounding, tire-smoking street machines, we got them. Fire them up, Hot Rod Madness style, with your host, Tim the Milkman, along with the Hot Rod Madness crew. Welcome to Hot Rod Madness. Let's travel with the HRM crew to Year One Muscle Car Parts in Braselton, Georgia, as Year One and the Hot Rodders Children Charity teams up with automotive legend and TV star Chip Foose for a very special car show. It's the Braselton Bash.
Hey, it's Kevin King from Year One. What's happening, Kevin?
It's good to see you, Milkman.
Good to see you, sir. Man, I was strolling down the hallway here looking at your photos, man, and I'm going, I might recognize some of these, huh?
Yeah, these are some of the cool projects through the years. This is a car we built for Paul Walker from the Fast and the Furious fame.
Okay.
We did this car. It's a Chevelle from the Dukes of Hazzard movie. This is one of our personal cars. It's a 66 Mustang Fastback, 67 Nova, and all these cars led Year One into a lot of notoriety and magazine coverage, etc.
Okay.
And the Hot Rodders Children's Charity was born. And the charity is a way for us to give back to the community for children, and the Hot Rodders in our industry are some of the most giving people that we have. So every time we say something near and dear to our hearts we want to collect money for, these people give like no other. And the Progeria Research Foundation is here with us this weekend at Year One, and we're of course raising money for Progeria. And it's just really a wonderful deal.
Was it tough getting Chip Foose to come out and help you out with this?
Well, Chip's sister had progeria, and he's been a good friend of mine for years. And so we kind of started doing this particular event for him. Mm-hmm. So to get him to come back every year is pretty easy because we kind of did it for him. So he's always in.
Well, he's such a great guy. He shows up every year and does his thing, man. And people love it, man.
Oh, they really do. And he's such a gentleman to the folks in Georgia. And they cannot just, they can't thank him enough for coming, and they are always ready for him to come back next year.
Yeah. Me too, man. I'm ready to come back already.
Well, thanks so much for being here.
All right, Kevin.
It's good seeing
hey,
you again.
thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Jim, how are you, sir?
Good, very good.
All right, it's Driving at Home from Year One. Jim, tell me a little bit about this club.
This group's been together about 9 years. We meet once a year in September. Might be Niagara Falls, maybe Galveston, Texas, Dover, Delaware, different places. Yeah. And we spend a week driving back to Year One for the Chip Foose Car Show.
Okay. Danny, how are you, man?
Real good.
Real good. Look at this. A bright red Vega. Wow. Man, that thing's beautiful. What year is it?
72 Vega.
72.
And
That's just about the time they did the split bumper thing on the Vegas and the Camaros, and looks like you went way back, grabbed a body, and took off with it. That thing's, oh man, I'm loving the body style.
yeah, that was a three-year build.
Yeah.
And I do all the fabricating, paintwork, everything in the house garage.
All right. Wow. Home build, right?
Home built.
Wow. You painted that thing?
Yes, painted it. It's what is it? Southern urethane paint.
Okay.
I usually PPG, and I tried this one because
Okay.
PPG was so bad or so expensive.
Yeah.
And this turned out about $700, and it looks deeper than a PPG.
How about that? Well, okay. It is red, and the body is slick. You did a great job on it, man. I mean, that's slick. I'm loving the front end on this thing.
No, I did everything.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't do is the chrome plating and the leather interior.
Yeah. So the front spoiler's molded in, but is that sheet metal or fiberglass?
Sheet metal.
Yeah.
That's all sheet metal fabricated. The rear also and the tail lights.
Yeah.
I machined out of aluminum bezels
Wow.
and made 4 round tail lights look like the Camaro tail lights.
Wow, great job, Danny. That looks fantastic. You went with the billet specialty wheels on it. Everybody knows those ain't cheap.
No. I don't know. They just seem to fit. I kind of like them.
Yep.
Everybody seems to like them with this car.
They do look great, man. I'm looking at some pretty cool interior on this thing, man. 72, and look at this, folks. I got to point this out. I'm looking at right in the pinstripe here, 5.3 LS, man. You know what everybody's doing to these cars nowadays. You stuffed an LS motor in it, didn't you?
Oh, yes, we had I had to cut the whole firewall out,
Yeah.
the tunnel,
Yeah.
because it has a 4L65E tranny that I put in.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Let's pop the hood and check it out, man. Oh boy, Danny, look at this LS plant, man. What kind of induction is that?
That is actually the stock truck, an 06, but
Okay.
I spent about 3 days cutting all the wire looms and everything off and smoothing it up.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what that is.
No. Without all that stuff on it, you can't tell what it is.
No, so most of it's stock, and I took the coils off, mounted those on the firewall.
Yeah.
The aluminum covers, I machined all those. The stainless steel tank for the power steering, made all that.
Okay.
So,
Wow, fantastic, man. Where'd you get them headers?
those are hooker headers from Jags. But
That's kind of like you can order those factory for the trucks and all, right?
yeah, those come from hooker headers, but those are cast iron.
Gotcha.
So
Interesting.
and then I put the MagnaFlow mufflers on it, and the exhaust is out the side.
Well, the reason I ask is I had a late model truck with the same headers on it, and I was just wondering it might be factory or not. I don't know.
I'll be done. No, it wasn't factory.
Okay. Gotcha. Anyways, beautiful job, man. You stuffed it in there great, man. You're running an electric fan, of course, because there's not a lot of room. You had to build a new tunnel, obviously.
And then I put vintage air on it, Gen 4.
Yeah.
It's up under here. See, I welded all the vents in, raised this up to get the vintage air in there to get clearance.
I was going to say, this panel here is a little different, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little body mods like that. Unless you just know, you would never know that was not factory. That
Well,
looks great.
All the younger people come up and they see, oh, this is a Vega, but they don't know what it originally looked like, so they can't appreciate all the modifications that I did. The older people come up and they see the Vega. Wow, that's the way they should have built it.
Tell you what, nice, man.
Thank you.
You got too much power for the body weight here. What's it weigh, man?
I think around 3,000, maybe, guessing. I haven't weighed it, but it's about 300 horse.
Have you got into it pretty good yet?
No, not yet. I'm still breaking the rear end.
You know what's going to happen. He's going to get it out one day and nail into it and see what it'll do, right?
Yes.
Look at that interior. Who did your seats, man?
Stanford and Debbie from Ellijay, Georgia, did the interior.
Okay.
They did a fantastic job.
That looks neat, man, with the little holes in there. The little, what do you call those?
More sporty looking, with grommets in it.
Yep.
They did the headliner, everything in it, so it turned out nice. I did all the modification of the seats. Those are 06 GTO seats, but I cut the tops off and modified them.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow,
Not GTO seats, excuse me, Camaro seats.
Camaro seats. Okay. Wow, fantastic job. Anyways, man, that is wonderful. Love it, man. How are you, Billy?
Fine, how are you?
Oh, I'm just fine, man. I'm out here looking at some phenomenal cars. I believe you have one, Billy.
I hope so. I don't know.
Oh, yes, you
I
do.
don't know.
Yeah, I think you do, man.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do.
Oh, yeah. Hey, this ain't nothing you're going to walk by and just turn your nose up at if you know what this is. Because this car is, that's quite an automobile, man. The 64 Super Sport. And I got word that this thing has the original 409 under the hood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Billy says, oh, yeah. So, how long have you owned the car, Billy?
I bought the car new.
You bought it new?
In 64 and kept it till 79, sold it, and bought it back in 90.
Yeah, okay. So it got away from you for a few years then?
Yeah, about 11 years,
11 years, and you found the car again and bought it back?
Well, it found me and I bought it back.
It found you. Hey, man, it was destined to be, wasn't it?
Must have been, must have been.
Yep, and I see you're one of them Foose Select Group cars here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, this car is going to get a bunch of attention, you know that, right?
I hope so.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope so.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So, I'd imagine the car's been painted before, right?
Yeah, we painted it 16 years ago.
16 years ago. Okay, got you. It looks brand new, man. The car looks brand new.
Well, I try to keep it halfway decent.
Yeah, you do. Oh boy, Billy. Wow. Does all that chrome come on it factory?
That's factory chrome.
Really?
Everything you see is factory chrome.
Oh boy, look at that. Man, what a jewel. What is this, Billy? What you got going on here? How does that work?
That you pour that into the windshield washer. That's a cleaner.
Okay. So you just manually pop the top and pour it in there, right? That's spare cleaner. Gotcha.
Well, see, this is 54 years ago. We're just getting into stuff.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yep, there's no boost assist on your brakes. That's a single reservoir master cylinder, period correct. And 409. Wow, that is awesome, man. The valve covers are very distinct. You can tell what it is exactly when you walk up on those motors, right?
Yeah, it's the only Chevrolet that's got valve covers that way.
Yep. That is amazing, man. I got to take a peek at the interior right quick before we go. Oh boy, look at that period correct shifter. Four speed in the floor, just like it came. The dash is beautiful. Wow. The accents here, Billy, on the interior, that was such styling, man. The Super Sport badge right there on the console to the shifter. Now, what about them gauges under the dash, Billy? Is that
they were added? I added those later on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're not original. Tachometer's is original.
Gotcha.
Everything in there, steering wheel original.
Okay.
It's a $32 option, and
A $32 option. Right here's the sticker on the glass, man. Got all the stuff labeled there. That's quite a car. Wow, you know one day, Billy, somebody's going to offer you a lot of money for this car, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for showing your ride here today, Billy, on Hot Rod Madness. We appreciate you, sir.
I appreciate y'all doing it.
All
I
right.
really do.
John, good to see you again, buddy.
Good to see you.
Good to see ya. Hey, man, last time we caught you out at a cruise-in, this thing was in primer, and that was how many years ago?
I think 4 years ago.
Yeah, it probably was about 4 years ago. Now?
That means I've been driving it for 3 years.
Okay, yeah. I see you out and about in this thing, man. What a ride, right?
Oh, it's a great car. I love it.
Well, it's got to be dependable. What a cruiser, because you're always driving it around.
I'm everywhere. I'm over the whole East Coast.
Okay, are you selling these things yet?
No.
No?
If somebody wants one, but
Yeah, okay.
they got to want it bad because I love the car.
I hear you.
I mean, I drive this car
is?
every day.
Yeah.
It's a daily driver.
Okay.
And,
It's a very unique vehicle.
yeah.
I mean, until you showed up with one, I've never seen one before.
No, because it's the only one.
Yeah, but didn't you say you were doing another one?
Oh, yeah, except for my other one.
Yeah, except for his other one. Okay, is the other one just like this or what?
Well, it's a coupe version of this.
Okay.
But it looks more of a custom, where this has mostly stock style trim on it.
Okay.
The other one is a candy aqua. It's got dark trim, custom wheels,
Okay.
white leather 57 interior.
Okay, so
It's pretty wild. You're going to get to see it.
Good. Okay. Well, I want to see it because you're saying it's a coupe, so
Yeah.
it's got a top made onto it.
Yeah, it's got the top, and
Yeah.
it's a Target top, and it's got the fastback.
Gotcha.
But it sits a lot lower to the ground than this, so it's kind of wicked looking.
And
This is my Alice in Wonderland, and my other one's Darth Vader.
Okay, Darth Vader and Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Hey, whatever, man. It's still cool, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's fun to drive.
I'm interested in where in the world do you get the body panels for this thing? I mean, where did it come from?
Well,
You
two
may have-
original 57 fenders, I pulled molds off them and screwed it to the hood of the Corvette,
Yeah.
and that's where it started. Bought a hood, pulled
Yeah.
a mold off of it, and made a hood.
So you made all this stuff up
Made
yourself?
the whole body. The whole body is fiberglass. I handmade every piece on
Man,
this car.
man, these car guys, it's unreal what these guys do, man. You got an imagination, huh, sir?
I got a big imagination.
I'd say.
I just enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
And as long as you enjoy it, I get up. When I retired, I got up every morning, went to the shop, worked on the car.
Yeah.
Then I turned around and did it again on the other one.
There you go.
And I'm going to do it again. I'm going
Nah,
to build a Nomad.
That's what it's about, folks.
Oh, yeah.
The passion behind these things.
Then I'm
is
going to
just,
build a milk truck for you.
Oh man, I'd be honored. He's gonna build me a milk truck. All right, is it gonna cost me anything?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It'll be a 57 Chevrolet milk
I'm
truck.
gonna have payments, man. That's what I
Okay.
see in
Hey,
my
I can work with
future. right.
I know
John,
where you're from.
You're right. I know where you live, man.
Exactly.
John, thanks for showing us your ride again.
Well, I
That's
appreciate it.
fantastic. I want to see the next one, all right? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm at a car show, buddy. And what's your name?
My name's Andrew Orstadius.
Andrew?
Yep.
That's your cornet?
This is our cornet.
Nice, man. What's your name, sir?
I'm Bob, and I'm his father.
All right, a father and son build here on a cornet. What year is that, man?
1967.
Oh, boy. Man, that thing, I don't know if the camera's doing it any justice, but when it's out here in the sun, it pops, man.
It's popping. It's a beautiful car.
Oh, yeah. I saw it from way over there. I'm like, let's go do that one, you know?
All right. It's 5 years in the making.
Mhm.
It's been a long time coming. The car was found. We had it in a barn. He bought it in 1969,
Oh, boy.
and he's had it ever since.
Yeah.
And we took it out of the barn about 4 or 5 years ago and decided we were going to build it.
Really? So Bob here bought the car in 69?
69.
Oh, man. Bob, what inspired you to get the cornet, man?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
What inspired you to get the cornet?
It was supposed to be a Roadrunner, but,
Yeah.
but the insurance was so high
Yeah.
that I had to settle for this.
Okay.
So I settled for this.
He settled for this, he says. Man, I'm going, wow. Okay. Aren't you glad he settled for that?
Yeah, it's a beautiful car. Yeah. We enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. So you guys locals around here?
I live local around here. I'm over in Jefferson.
Okay.
He's still up in Detroit.
Yeah. So you get to come out to the year one shows all the time, don't you?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Yep. We have a good time up here.
Nice. Okay.
It's always some good looking cars. Get some good ideas.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Come to these shows and get any idea you want for this baby,
right.
man. So you got the period correct engine in it or what?
We do not have the original motor. We decided to go a little bit bigger.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
we decided to put a 440 in it.
Okay.
475 horsepower.
More power, Mopar. Yeah. Okay. Now let's pop the hood and check that baby out. Oh boy, look at this. Oh man, there's, the engine. There's a lot of space under there, but that engine takes up most of it, man.
It takes up a lot of room.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
440.
Yep. And
Yeah.
you squeeze them headers in there, makes it real tight.
Mm-hmm.
Real tight.
Yeah, they use the 440 for anything. I mean, I had a motorhome one time with the 440 in it, pretty much just like that, except mine was a lot dirtier. That thing's super clean, man.
This one, we had it built by CME Engineering, and it's 475 horsepower.
Yeah, buddy.
We decided to go with the atomic fuel injection system on it. So, and that's running pretty good. What do we run? TCI train? No, we didn't TCI.
Yeah,
P&A transmission.
So automatic or
It's a 727 automatic.
Yeah. Okay. Nice, man. Yeah, you got some goodies under the hood going on there. That MSD ignition stuff.
MSD
Yeah.
ignition, MSD atomic fuel injection. We decided to go with hose candy, hose covers on it, and clean it up. 3-core radiator, to keep it cool. But
Just right for the year one show, man.
that's right.
Wow, man, I'm loving it. Tom, how are you, man?
All right, how are you?
I'm just fine, Mr. Clarksboro Hot Rods in Athens, Georgia. This is the kind of stuff you guys produce?
We produce whatever the customer brings.
Whatever the customer brings in, he will build it, right?
That's right.
All right, man. Okay, so if I brought you a piece of junk, you'd build it up for me, right?
We would.
Huh, interesting. Can't wait to get me a piece of junk so I can
Bring
bring it
it
to you. Yeah, he said, Dollar Bill says I got to get a bunch of money too.
Well, I was thinking that.
Oh, you were thinking that? Oh, man. So, a build like this, there's no shiny paint on it. There's no shiny stuff going on here. However, man, this is a hot item nowadays. These little roadsters and coupes and things that people build nowadays, they're phenomenal, man. What a hot ticket you got, sir. How long did it take to build this?
Took us about a year. We started with an original 32 chassis.
Okay.
Came out from under a car out in Arizona. Bought the complete chassis with brakes, shocks, firewall pad,
Okay.
instrument cluster.
Yeah.
bought grill shell that came out of Iowa 47 years ago.
Wow.
Original paint on it.
All right.
Bought the hood out of Pennsylvania. Bought the body out of Brookville, Ohio. It is a new body. The top irons came off of a 32 Roadster. It was raced at Bonneville in 1958, along with a windshield frame, stanchions, door latches, and interior door handles.
Nice.
We gathered all original and vintage hot rod parts. And the only thing new is the Brookville Roadster body out of Brookville, Ohio.
Wow. It looks like you based the whole car right off the color of the grill here. You made everything match
That was our goal.
Yeah,
that was the mission statement.
That's what it looks like. And fantastic job, sir. That thing
thank
looks
you.
cool.
Appreciate it.
That's really cool. And the flathead, where did you produce the flathead from?
It came out of a 51 Ford truck that I had that we thought we lost the engine, and turned out that the engine just had a broken valve seat. And pulled the valve, checked the valve, put a valve seat in it. Then we made it look like a 59 AB, found the Grand Core heads. A gentleman that sells vintage parts had the Grand Core heads, bought the intake and the breather, new old stock at Hershey, about 6 years ago.
Wow.
And just gathered parts for a while, and it took us about a year to do the project.
Yeah, and what's so cool, like the headlights, you collected the period correct stuff to build it back with. Even the horn, man. Does that horn work?
That horn works. That's a vintage motorcycle horn. The upholstery was done by Paul Ragland out of Washington, Mount Vernon, Washington, on Citadel Upholstery. He did the interior and the top there and sent it to us, and we put it on.
Oh, so we did the top too to match everything,
Yes.
and ooh, we chopped it, man. That is
The canvas came off of a 38 Cadillac.
okay.
And Paul had the canvas, and then we bought distressed leather.
Yeah.
And just pulled the package together, and we were very pleased at how it turned out, and we've had a lot of good comments about it.
Yep.
And people have accepted it well, been well received.
Yes, sir, it has. As a matter of fact, this one, like I said earlier, this is the winner from last year here at Year 1 at the Braselton Bash, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sure was.
And I know why now.
We had a lot of help from a lot of friends. The gentleman in Arizona, Bob Everett, that sold us the chassis to go with, and it was perfect for the mission statement they had. And all the guys at the shop, Brian, Greg, Julian, Uncle John, everybody's proud of this old piece.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we do shiny paint stuff. 32 3-window that's right over there. We did it for a gentleman, and this is just my personal taste.
Yeah.
But we do whatever customers
Nice.
want.
Very nice. Let's step around here and look at this flathead. Oh yeah, look at this stuff. Oh man. Yeah, stuff like that's cool. You can tell he drives it. He enjoys it. There's nothing real shiny about it. This ain't nothing you sit around and polish on, is it?
No, the stern box, for example, it looks like a 32. That's a 39 Hudson stern box. There's a gentleman in California, Neil Jennings, that's producing those now. For a while he was having to find cores to build. Now he's starting production on those, and it steers like a non-power steering rack that we see in a Mustang 2 configuration.
Sure.
And,
All right.
everything's vintage, Ford wheels, 17s and 18s, and that's real rust on this car. It's no airbrush stuff.
So this guy here, he knows how to make it ride and drive great, as vintage as it is. Man, that's fantastic build, sir. Dad, how are you, man?
Fine, hot, but I'm fine.
Yeah, it's a little warm out. Hey, we are getting a steady breeze off the hurricane now, right?
That feels good.
Yeah.
Especially if you can find a shade.
Yep, you're getting a shade around here. Woo, man, look at this. Another one of those cab overs, man. Wow, that's a phenomenal build, man. What year is that?
It's a 1940 Ford.
Wow. Man, when you pulled up in this thing, I'm going, look at that. What a piece of art. Okay, so it's a little short for my standards. So how'd you make it short like that?
I took a torch to the frame. It had about 16 and a half foot frame from the back of the cab, because it was a 2.5 ton, 2-ton truck. old farm truck. So I cut it off and I mounted everything back where I wanted the rear end and figured out where my bed and all was going to be put at, and I just chopped her off and put her back together.
So okay, so you took the back half of the frame off and then moved the rear end forward, right? Pretty much.
Right. All it had was an old wooden bed on it when I got it, and I mean I took the whole wooden bed off of it, and then I just figured out where I wanted everything to be, and I took a torch and cut it and put it, grind it off, put it back like I wanted it, and then this is the way it turned out. It looks pretty good, I think.
Oh man, I'd say, wow, you did all the body work and all the paint and everything yourself?
I done everything on it. Sure did, except for the upholstery. I didn't do the upholstery.
Okay.
Somebody else done that. I didn't do that.
All right, so it's safe to say Thad, he's an artist. Look at this thing. That's gorgeous, man. Beautiful. Hey, what color you call that?
It's got black cherry pearl with the fenders are black on it.
Okay. And man, when you see this thing rolling up on you folks, it is beautiful. All right, what we running, man? What we got for a power plant?
305 Chevrolet.
All right.
Maybe a Ford, but it's got a Chevrolet power in it.
It's got Chevy power in it. All right, so you got an automatic transmission, perhaps?
400 transmission in it. Yep, turbo 400. 370 rear end in it. I have a Chevrolet Blazer.
All right.
Yeah, Mustang 2 front end in it. So.
Wow, okay, judging by the size of the rear fenders, man, I would guess you had some other type of rear end under it. You must have some just really wide tires under there.
Yeah, those are real wide. I can't remember exactly how wide those are without going back there and looking at them. But the bed is off of a Dodge Power, about a 48, 49 Dodge Power wagon. Yeah. Cut down to fit on this old Ford here, with them, and that's steel fenders on there too. The whole bed's steel.
Yeah. So. In order to look at the engine and all that, you'd have to open up something inside, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd have to take the whole doghouse out of it.
Okay.
We
won't do that.
You can't tell it.
Yeah, okay.
You might get a peek if you look through our little holes in the grill. I've seen a bunch of people all day trying to figure out what's under there.
Peeking in there,
yeah. Most people puts them in the back in the back of the bed, but I didn't want to do that on this old truck. I just left it where it was at.
All right. Well,
I got the original frame under it, and I just put the Chevrolet motor right where I wanted it.
All right. Sweet build, man. I got to take a peek at the interior, man. Look at this thing. Wow. Okay. Hey, there's plenty of leg room and headroom in there, that's for sure. These old cab overs, man, they're roomy.
It's a little bit tight in there when you sit in there and try to drive it. It is tight.
Yeah.
It really is, yeah. They made these trucks for the farm. They didn't make them drive down the road every day.
Yeah. They made them for the farm, and Thad made it for the road, man. That's a roadworthy truck, though, man. Now it is.
Now it is. It runs good going down the road. You think it's got air ride suspension under it. It's good riding a little truck.
Oh, boy. Hey, man, if you ever get bored, man, I would love to have one.
Yeah.
But I ain't got no money for one, so.
Well, I don't know where you're going to get one of them at. This is my third one doing. Well,
Really?
my second cab over, and I got a Dodge Power Wagon I done.
Okay.
And a Chevrolet cab over too that I done. So, but
Rough estimated value?
don't even have a clue. Just put the receipts in the bag and don't even worry
Don't
about it.
even look at the receipts.
Once you start, you ain't going to stop till you get finished.
Gotcha. Hey, Pat from Year One. How's it going, man?
Good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming up today.
You betcha, man. I couldn't wait to get back here behind the scenes at Year One. We ran up on some movie cars back here, Pat. Tell us a little bit about the Camaro, man.
All right. Well, this is a pretty neat piece that we have here. We were heavily involved in the series Fast and Furious and the Too Fast, Too Furious, which featured the 69 Camaro and the 70 Dodge Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
We were heavily involved in providing almost all the parts for those cars to be able to produce that movie. A lot of people don't realize how many cars it takes for them to do that. These cars aren't bulletproof, so there were actually 9 of these blue Camaros that were used to film the movie, and then there were actually 6 of the Challengers that were done. So this particular Camaro that we have here is the one that they actually placed on top of the yacht towards the end of the movie that looked like it jumped and then landed on top of the yacht. The funny thing was that wasn't in the original script. So when this became available and they wanted to do this in the scene, this car actually got picked up by the rear end and dropped on its front end to then make it look like it actually made the jump and everything.
Movie magic, man.
Yeah, so this car was already in the junkyard. They just pulled it out to then crutch it up a little bit more. It wasn't a real Yenko. It was just made up to look like that. But it's a little bit of the history. And hey, any car guy'd love to have a car like this.
Sure. And for all those guys that got mad because they smashed up a good Camaro, they really didn't.
That's right. That's right.
Really
Exactly.
didn't. So they just strapped it up to be a Yenko, put some Kriegers on it, and dropped it.
A couple times to really make it look good. So,
and this is where they ended up at, folks, right here in year one. Now, any plans for the car in the future?
Well, it's always such a great conversation piece like this that it's hard to believe how old that movie is. So who knows, maybe one day. But now, as we'll talk about a little bit later, the 70 Dodge Challenger, we did take that from being just a movie car, one of 6 cars, and turned it into quite a show car piece driver that we take around to different events from time to time and everything.
Okay, so that's the one out in the showroom, right?
That's the one out in the front showroom, and when we get out there, I'll tell you a little special thing about that car.
Cool. All right, so they saved the Challenger. We'll show you that shortly. Oh boy, here's that Dodge pickup truck in that movie. You know, I'm a big fan of the movie, right? And you can't help but see these trucks when they come out the warehouse and hit the cop cars and shove them out of the way. This is one of them, right?
That's right. This is one of the trucks from the original Too Fast, Too Furious movie.
Okay.
It was kind of iconic because I don't think a lot of people had seen this road armor piece that had put on the front of this truck or whatnot. And of course, they did that to be able to film that scene to adequately push the police cars that had surrounded the warehouse. For then all the cars to come out of in that scene or whatnot. So
that's some heavy duty stuff, Pat. Look at that, solid, man. That's a huge bumper.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. They did some special colors on these trucks when they did the movie and everything and stuff. And we were just fortunate enough with our heavy involvement that we were able to acquire some of the vehicles that we have here from our movie involvement through the years.
Cool. So what do you use the truck for now, man, here at Year One?
The truck's been to the Mopar National shows every year for many years and different events, and then, of course, special gatherings of movie memorabilia, that type of thing. So the truck's been to a lot of those different things, along with some of the cars and whatnot and stuff. So, we're kind of all about, we're living and breathing the hobby and love it and live it, and we like to take these vehicles out and have fun and let other people enjoy them too. A lot of times when we do tours and people see these vehicles and we tell them about it, they all go, I got to go back and watch that movie again and see if I see that. So, all these years later and people are still watching that movie. That was a great for the American muscle car.
Sure, and that might be what we're doing right now, provoking people to go back and watch the movie again. Pat, this is what happened to the Year One car, the Challenger, right?
Well, this is actually one of 6 from the iconic movie Too Fast, Too Furious, which was the second in the series of the Fast and Furious movies. And I don't think a lot of people realize there were multiple of these cars to actually produce the movie as a whole. So they actually did 6 of these cars, and this is one of the 6.
I don't realize it myself. I'm looking at it like, man, this is the car, you know?
Yeah. Well, they actually have several because they do lots of things, and guess what? They tear them up. So we provided a lot of parts to them to be able to produce this movie and everything, and that's how we ended up with one of the 6 cars.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what became of it, folks. They actually fix this one up and put it in the showroom, man. What are you gonna do with this? You gonna drive it?
Of course.
This is what you get to drive home every night, right?
No, not every night, but hey, Year One's about getting the cars out and enjoying them, having fun. You can always fix something. So this one goes to a lot of different events every year, taking to different events, taking to different movie get-togethers and so on and so forth. And what's kind of neat about this car is towards the end of the movie, there's a bad guy that's riding in the passenger seat here, and this is the actual car that the door blows off and they eject the bad guy out. So it's a neat little piece of history to talk about, and we're just honored to have it.
Okay, so there was a real mechanism that blew the door off.
Well, the door blew off, and then there were probably, 2,000 takes to make it right to pick, because they can't just do it in one take. So that's what keeps us all in business.
Yep, exactly, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you showing us these movie cars. It's always fascinating. Hey, if you would like to see them yourself, come on down to Year One, hook up with Pat and the guys, find out for yourself what happened to those movie cars. Pat?
Hey, thank you so much.
Yes,
sir. We got some more cars to talk about as we go forward
sure.
with our relationship with you guys. So thank you for what you guys do, and once again coming out to our annual September event.
Yes, sir, and thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for watching, and check back soon for more Hot Rod Madness.